Israel plays a delicate balancing act with Russia, an adversary of Israel's main ally, the United States, a partner of Israel's main adversary, Iran, and an ally of Israel's neighbor under significant Iranian influence, Syria. And yet Russia and Israel have had a good working relationship over the years, despite these challenges. But the war in Ukraine is putting significant strain on those ties, particularly Russia's move to shut down the Jewish agency in the country. So, is Russia a friend or foe? In a recent poll by the Israeli Russian language website news.ru.il, 49% of the over 4,700 respondents saw Russia as an enemy of Israel. 42% answered neither a friend nor an enemy, and only 6% considered Russia as a friend. The answers we received on the streets of Tel Aviv were varied.
In the end, there is cooperation revolving around interests. When Russia wants to curb Iran's influence, they are happy when Israel strikes Iranian targets in Syria. When not, then they come out against. Or when we came out with declarations against the war in Ukraine, then they scold us.
I heard Jewish people helped raise Putin, that he had bought one of those Jewish women an apartment in Tel Aviv. That's what I heard. He knows that the Jews don't cause problems.
Other answers also centered around Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I think he might be an enemy of Israel. He is not a mentally stable person. He changes his behavior, and if once we thought that he would be a friend of Israel, he's not, in my opinion.
It's the same. He's running Russia now. He does whatever he wants. And especially for Jews, I don't think it's a good situation when Putin is in charge of Russia.
Unsurprisingly, a higher percentage of immigrants from Ukraine said they saw Russia as an enemy of Israel, 61%. 37% of Russian immigrants thought so. Here's one such recent immigrant with a more balanced perspective.
I think Russia is an important strategic partner for Israel, and there's a lot that Russia can offer in terms of guarding the borders and, helping Israel achieve its goals in the Middle East.
On the other hand, Ukraine was not perceived as a real ally either. 63% of respondents said Ukraine was neither a friend nor an enemy of Israel, with 23% classifying Ukraine as a friend and 10% as an enemy. Regardless of public opinion, though, Israel's ties with Russia will likely remain crucial, with a myriad of interests at stake, requiring delicate diplomacy with the Kremlin.